Hey guys, this is Jake and Adam. Just a quick disclaimer before the episode starts.
I just want to say that this first episode, we can't really tell you that it's for the faint of heart. It involves quite a lot of talk about human fecal matter and
Vomit.
Yeah, quite a bit of talk about vomit as well.
So if you have an aversion to either of those things, I wouldn't recommend listening to this episode.
Yeah, and I'm going to also just let y'all know that you probably shouldn't eat either, unless, you just have a really strong stomach.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you for listening to our TED Talk.
And yeah, just try and enjoy the episode if you're still here.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the It's Hard to Explain podcast. My name is Kagan, and I'm here with my buddies, my pals, my jolly old boys, Ethan, Jake, and Adam. And today, we're going to just shoot the shit a little bit and talk about some embarrassing stories from life. First off, boys.
This is it.
How are you doing?
First episode.
Yeah, this is it.
The first official
episode. Yippee! Yippee! So, boys, how are you doing? How's it going?
It's going okay.
Just
I
okay.
gotta say, today's been a shit show.
Today
Clusterfuck.
has been the
unfortunate.
okayest day.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
Would you care to go into detail about
I
that?
think I will later.
Later?
Why
Yeah,
later?
I think I'm simmering down.
Simmering.
yeah.
Oh, you're steaming?
Yeah, I'm
You're steaming?
hot and bothered right now.
What about you, Adam? I know you had a story to tell.
I do.
Let's
So,
hear this.
Regale us.
today at work, so some stuff went down all right. So a good buddy of mine, he got into a bit of an argument with our supervisor, right?
Uh-oh.
They don't mix well. They're like, it's like fire and fire. Like they do not mix well at all.
I was gonna say fire mixes pretty well with fire. It just makes bigger fire.
Shut up.
Like
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. They're fire and fire, and they come together, and now everything's on fire. Like,
okay.
but they got into a bit of a spat.
A sp-
A spat. They are very disagreeable personalities, and they wound up going to talk to the big boss about it. And it was pretty bad, and nothing came of it. This is like the third time it's happened. Nothing came of it. He didn't get any closure, not really any help. So later, I went to talk to the big boss and try and explain things and be like, "Hey, this is why our supervisor fucking sucks." Like he's just not a good supervisor. Like I was just trying to lay it on the table for him, and. We sat and chit-chatted for about 45 minutes, got across our grievances and all that stuff. And then I went back to work. And a lot of this stemmed from the fact that our supervisor is both a massive hypocrite and a pathological liar.
Perfect
And
combo.
at the end of the day, this is the cherry on top.
Multi-classing in D&D. It's the best.
At the end of the day, the cherry on top of this story is another one of my buddies I work with walks up to us. Like as we're leaving, we had just gotten in the car. It was the end of the day. We were clocked out. Everything was done. And this other buddy, he walks up and he goes, "So, you want to hear something really funny?" We're like, "What?" He's like, "So, whenever we were loading in there, I overheard our supervisor. I got to think of replacement names.
Just call him Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
Our supervisor, Bob, he was talking to Bobbert."
Bobbert, okay. Bob and Bobbert.
Yeah, our supervisor Bob, they were loading him and Bobbert were loading next to each other, and Bob just looks at him and goes, something I've always prided myself on is being honest. Even if it's not necessarily the right move sometimes, I'm always honest.
Well, that was a fucking lie.
Yeah, so that was a fucking lie. And I just looked at him and I said, "Are you serious?" He said that? God, that's so funny. It was just, I don't know, man. It was just redonkulous. It was just so funny and at the same time sad. Sad.
Yeah, it kind of it's weird when your boss is a massive cunt and you can't really do anything about it,
See, the thing is, I don't hate the guy. I probably wouldn't hang out with him as just in day-to-day life, but I don't hate him or anything, Overall, I think he's okay. It's just, God damn it. Just sometimes he just does and says things that's just that's not how a supervisor should act.
Yeah, no, I get that totally. I have people like that at my work too.
So the gym that proves what a supervisor he is So Bob was talking to this same guy who was telling me the story about him and Bobbert. We'll call him Jim.
Okay.
Bobbert and Jim.
Yeah. So Bob, our supervisor, so what he did was he got, I'll just put it on the table. We work in a warehouse. It's hard to, get the point across without explaining. I work in a warehouse.
Yeah.
So he had received some product, a pallet of drinks. And what happened was whenever he was receiving it, he busted one of the cases of drinks at the bottom.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
And, they come in wrapped in plastic, so it didn't fall apart or anything. But instead of, doing something about it, he just ignored it and was like, whatever.
Left it?
I'll let somebody else deal with it.
Oh, the floor's going to get sticky.
And then
Yuck.
later,
Sticky shoes.
whenever Jim and a couple of the other workers were working on, stocking the stuff, they cut the plastic off of the pallet and it just fell apart
Oh.
everywhere. And Bob comes over and is like, hey, why don't you clean this shit up? And Jim looks at him and goes, this is your mess. You're the one who caused this. You clean it up. And Bob's response, verbatim, was, your job is to do whatever I tell you.
Oh.
I'm the supervisor. My job is to do whatever I want.
Oh no.
Fucking oof.
Absolute Jim of a supervisor right there.
Jim is the guy that was complaining. I
let him go.
didn't really think he was a supervisor.
GEM. Absolute
Jim.
Jim of a supervisor. I need to think of better
catch that the
aliases,
first
okay?
Okay.
Perfect specimen of a supervisor.
Perfect
There.
specimen. I've got two funny stories from work today. So I'm a welder. I'm just gonna put that out there. I've got that skill because I'm just better. Anyways,
No, better.
one of the forklift drivers was loading our product or unloading from a semi truck, and he drove out, and he thought there was one more item on the semi truck to pick up. What's so fucking funny?
Proceed.
No, what's so fucking funny?
You just nothing. Go. Keep going.
Okay. Well, the forklift driver, let's call him Jimothy, because I can't think of a name either.
Can't
Our,
think of a
names, our
single-
naming scheme is awesome.
Yeah, perfect. But
Okay,
Jimothy was unloading stuff from the semi truck, and then he, I wasn't there, but this is just from what I heard. He went to unload the stuff, and then he went back to the truck because there was something in there that he thought was for us, and it was for another place. So the semi truck had already left the thingy, but the dock was still open for him. So like a fucking Charlie Chaplin skit, it just drove right off the edge dock onto the concrete below. It just rolled over.
What?
I thought you were going to say he got into the back of the truck and then the truck driver just closed it up and left with him in there.
That would have been pretty funny. He's like, "Where's Jimothy? I haven't seen him in a couple hours." Check the camera.
So what happened to it?
To what?
The truck.
The truck.
The truck. Oh, it drove off. It was
just
gone.
drove- what-
It was gone.
Oh,
So what happened?
okay.
Hang on. So what was he using? Like a pallet jack? Or
He was
fork-
using a forklift.
He was using a forklift and he drove it off of a loading bay onto the concrete below because he thought the truck was still there.
Yeah, I guess. Was he driving with his eyes closed or something? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
That's an expensive
But where did
mistake.
the truck go?
It just left. Like, they unload, and then once they're done, they leave. Like,
okay.
they unload the
So the
stuff.
dude thought the truck was still there and just drove a
Did he just
forklift
go
off
into a
without
drone
looking.
state?
I don't know. I wasn't there for it. This is just what I heard.
okay.
Because I was taking a shit, and I come out, and the building's just empty. And I was like, did the rapture happen? Like, where the fuck is everybody?
You were left behind.
So I saw my boss, and I just kind of ran up to him, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he was like, "Just wait. You want to hear this." So yeah, it was fucking goofy as shit. Like, the dude is okay, so that's good. Like, he
Is
didn't
the
get
forklift okay?
probably
That's what I
not.
care about.
Probably not. That bitch probably crumpled.
The forklift certified.
I say that guy, he lost his forklift certification.
He probably
that
got
day.
a stern talking to about it. Be like, "So our safety lady, I am not fond of this.
more forklifting for you.
I am not fond of our safety lady because she just finds stuff to complain about. All right."
Is she OSHA certified?
Probably, but her story sounds like a really lame superhero origin. Apparently, she got hurt at another job site really bad, and she vowed for that to never happen to another soul, and that is why she is so observant.
Do you know how she was injured?
I have no clue. This is just a lot of stuff I hear at work is hearsay.
That's so lame.
I know. That's what I said.
It's like I got sick once, so I vowed to always wash my hands.
I vowed to become a neurosurgeon because I have a headache. Yeah, it's
My tummy hurts, so now I do gastric bypass surgery.
yeah, it's goofy. But another story I have, and this isn't really funny. It's more of a shoot the messenger kind of thing. So I'm the lead of my area. I wouldn't say the boss, but when there's an issue, they come to me about it. And the dude in the next area, what we build goes to his area, and he was telling me, hey, I need this many by tomorrow. And I was like, okay, well, we actually have this many. And before I could even get the sentence out, he said, I'm not going to fucking argue with you. I have too much shit to worry about. And then he started yelling and he walked off. And I was just like, what the actual fuck?
Bro's tweaking.
I was like, bro, I'm literally just trying to talk to you and tell you that we got you covered, but you don't want to hear about it. So I went over there to talk to him and be like, hey, man, because I'm not, contrary to popular belief, I'm not much of a confrontational person in terms of like arguing. I don't like to argue. So I was just like, okay, let's get this taken care of so my day goes by easier.
You want to argue about it?
Sure, what? You want to fucking say something, Adam?
Yeah, you got something to say?
Debate
But
in order?
I went up, what'd you say?
I said, you think a good debate would be in order?
Probably not.
Probably
I'd
not.
probably lose that shit. I'm not a good debater. I'm a masturbator, but I'm not a good debater.
A master debater.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I went to talk to him. I'm like, hey, I wasn't trying to argue with you, man. I was just trying to tell you, like, we're good. We're good. Like, we got you covered. And he started yelling at me again, and I was thinking, this dude is genuinely tweaking. He needs to chill the fuck out.
See, that's the worst part, is when somebody you work with is having a bad day, so they just, like, take that out on everybody else in the workplace.
That's my boss.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
like, the dude is not a bad dude. I like him. I talk to him regularly because, you know, we're both the guys in charge of our area, so we communicate back and forth. And he's usually chill, but when he gets stressed out, he gets angry, and he kind of, I wouldn't say lashes out, but he kind of freaks out on people.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
And it's like, dude, I'm literally trying to help
Can't
you
really
out.
Keep his composure.
I'm trying to help you out, and you yelling at me and cussing at me isn't really doing much
helping,
for me.
yeah.
But I was just kind of straight facing it because, you know, no feelings. I'm emotionless.
shut up.
And then and then at the end of the day, when I'm going to clock out, I'm just kind of sitting waiting for it to turn to 3:30, and he comes up to me and taps my knee and he goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry."
Literally,
And I just kind of
I'm
sorry.
yeah,
sorry about that.
touching fingertips, just, "Hey man, I'm sorry." No, and I just slowly look up at him and I'm like, "Huh?" Like I already forgotten about it until he brought it up. I was like,
is blood yapping?
I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, how I was snapped at you. It wasn't you." And I was like, "Yeah, but don't do that. That wasn't necessary. Like, I'm literally just trying to talk to you.
Yeah, cool, but don't do that.
And you're over here getting rowdy, getting loud, making some noise.
People don't think it be how it be.
But it do be.
It do.
It do be like that. Like sometimes I say I don't be knowing, but I be knowing.
Today sucked ass.
Let's hear about it.
Tell
Jake.
us about it, buddy.
So many different things happened today.
Let's
that
hear it.
And how did that make you
I
feel?
loathed. So, I'll tell you about it.
Oh, please
Yeah.
do. How hard is it to explain?
Pretty hard, but let me try.
Okay.
So, one of the things that pissed me off today was the road. You know how we've had all the
yeah.
flooding and the potholes, the tire poppers on the fucking road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Those are god awful.
didn't have
The
any issues with
traffic?
those, but yes, I've heard they're fucking awful.
The traffic is fucking horrendous, and I will say, the potholes. I didn't do that, you know. But most of the shit
You didn't
that
do the
happened-
potholes? You didn't
most of
cause the
most
potholes?
of the
Yeah, that
shit-
was environmental,
Most
Jake.
of the shit that happened was my own doing. I have the tendency
That's the worst.
to not get gas until I absolutely fucking need it.
I'm not like that, dude. Once my shit hits a quarter of the tank, I gotta go
No.
to the gas
Until it's
station.
When that ticker's on the fucking E, that's when I'm like,
Maybe
I need to get some gas.
Until it fucking
gas?
sputters.
So the thing that
Do I have enough gas to
I've-
wait until tomorrow?
that's on God, dude. So the way that it works is I'll be driving on the highway and I'll be like, I can make it to a gas station. It'll be fine.
This man's taking gambles.
Dude, I'm taking risks. All right. So what happened was, with all of the flooding and the potholes and the traffic being as god awful as it was, I was sitting in the traffic with my gauge going all the way down. So I was freaking out on the inside. Honestly, it was just all my fault, but still freaking out. I have to pull over, get off the interstate, take the ramp off of it, find a gas station. I didn't bring my wallet. This morning, whenever I went to school, I didn't bring my fanny pack, which has my wallet in it and everything that I pay for everything with.
Hey, it's a manny pack. You look cool with it on because you don't wear it like a sissy.
I appreciate
Listen,
that. but-
yeah, to kind of lift you up a little
Yeah.
bit, you're one of the only guys I know who can pull off a fanny pack.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
because you
agree.
wear it like some Nathan Drake type shit,
Yes.
like some Uncharted.
Well,
wear it
thank
across your chest like a sash, and it looks good.
But anyways,
continue.
I had to go to a gas station, realized I didn't bring my fanny pack, didn't have my wallet, didn't have my credit card or debit card or money to pay for gas. So what I had to do with my
Noggin.
pondering ass, I called my dad. He didn't pick up the first 5 times I tried to fucking call him. So I called my mom, got my dad on the same phone call, and had my dad read out my credit card information so I could put it in a mobile pay? You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
just tap your phone.
Yeah.
And it'll pay. I've never done that before, so I had to enter a new card.
What a
Had to do
world
that.
we live in,
Can
huh?
can I just say
Yeah.
I had to do that recently as well because
Yeah.
I forgot my card somewhere and I had to set up a mobile pay specifically because I forgot my card.
Yeah, dude. I don't.
I
leave
haven't
the
used it
house-
since.
Yeah, I don't. I probably won't use it again like that. But I had to do what I had to do. So that fucking sucked. I felt like I was gonna be late to our little thing here because of it. I wasn't. However, I didn't go and get my wallet until just 30 minutes ago when I went to go get SD cards. So I drove from school, got in traffic, got gas, went through all that shit, and then came here, and then went to go get SD cards.
This man
So-
has some fucking resolve.
Dude,
That's all I gotta
dude,
say.
Lucky.
It's been a day. Anyways, thank you for listening to my ramble. Ethan, how was your day, dude?
Unfortunately, my day was quite uneventful.
Nothing.
anything?
Like every day, all I do is pick up dog shit. That's all I do.
Hey, humble beginnings. Humble beginnings.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but you got nothing to complain about your job.
I pick up dog shit.
That's my complaint.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, nothing to complain about except, the job.
hey, but without you there, those animals would be covered in shit. I mean, more than they already are. But
Think about
They're
that.
always covered in shit.
You do your job and you do it well.
Have you seen the shelter?
Yes, I have.
It's
always
god-awful.
Piss and shit in vileness because the dogs are so cute. And then you go in there and they jump on the gate and they got piss on their paws, so the
on their
piss
paws,
flings
they've
towards
got-
you. I'm pretty sure one time I
Paws
went.
are caked in
start
shit, and they jump on the doors and they fling that all over you.
Bro,
Pet me,
you walk
please,
into the shelter.
please,
You walk into the shelter and you start taking poison damage.
Literally, yes.
No, I walked. So one day I went up there. Whenever my lovely lady still worked there, and I went to see a little adorable pit bull who I was like, oh, he is so pretty. And then he jumped on the fence and slung piss right in my mouth, and I immediately was like, never
your
mind.
mouth?
Never
Yeah, it
mind.
went right there, right as I and I was like, yeah, I was like, never mind. And I turned around and went and sat in my car because I was like, fuck that.
Now
Dude, if
That's
that
poison
ever happened,
damage.
dude, if I got piss in my mouth ever, someone would be dead.
Yeah.
Like, that shit-
It wasn't like I let it linger. As soon as it happened, I was like,
Dude,
yeah, I
that's
was
like okay. I have something similar like that. Do you guys have issues touching wet food?
Yes.
No.
What do
No.
you mean?
So,
like with your hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, say a drain is clogged because you have food in it, and you have to
Oh.
pick it up without gloves. You probably should
Yes.
wear gloves, but when you don't wear gloves, have you ever done that before?
Bitch,
Ever had that
I
before?
wash the dishes. I touch wet food all the time.
Bitch,
No,
that
you
fucking
don't.
sink is filled to the brim right now.
You liar.
I do them all the time.
I'm looking
okay?
at it. I do them all the time, but you didn't do them.
My
today, did
sink
you?
is like 7 inches deep. That's a shallow sink. All
and
right.
it shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a matter of look. Once you get your own place, it's a matter of you come home and it's the last thing you want to do is chores. Okay. You come home and you're like, man, I really want to sit down and do nothing. And
Man,
then
I
you
really
see,
want to go jerk off and play video games.
Kagan, Kagan,
And then
listen
you
to
look
me,
at that
listen
and
to
you're
me.
like-
Kagan, I can smell your sink right now.
I guess I've gone nose blind because I don't smell it.
That's terrible.
I can't smell it either. I've lived in
What?
some pretty awful places. I can't.
That's
smell it.
It's.
grody.
I was gonna do them before we started, but then I kind of got caught up in what
Hey,
we
shit
were doing.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you boys want to move on to our main topic, or do we got anything else
No.
we want to talk about?
No, I think we're.
I think we end the episode here.
Actually,
Yeah.
no.
See you
One
guys.
thing I wanted to talk about was Lethal Company.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We some of us just downloaded Lethal Company not too
Hazardous
long ago.
LLC.
yeah, dangerous job.
And we started playing a little bit of it, not much.
That game is so fucking fun. It's
Yeah,
so
it's fun, yeah.
It's so fucking goofy.
Adam, you got to
Can't
get on.
wait to play it with you once I get my computer fixed.
It's
still fun.
it's such a fun game.
Like
dude.
my computer runs, but the thing is, like Lethal
best.
Company, it's an indie game. It's developed by one guy for the most part.
The dude's also a furry. I just wanted to point that out. That's not related to anything. The dude that created it's
What are you
furry.
implying,
More
Kagan?
power to him, I guess.
Yeah.
But
He's a dog.
he got that dog in
He
him.
got that dog in.
But
No, dude. For one person, he's made a great fucking game.
dude, there's
Yes.
been a few.
No, it's great.
He or she, I don't know
You gotta
what the
think,
gender of the guy
if
is,
you-
but they made a great game.
You got to think Phasmophobia was also developed by one guy at first.
Oh, shit,
He's-
really?
Since then, he's gotten a bigger team that's helped him do more. But originally, it was just one dude. But and isn't that amazing? How just
That's
one
awesome.
guy can
Yeah.
just make a game now? And
Yeah, it's crazy.
Turn
It's
out
Like
good.
Undertale.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
Lethal Company, it doesn't look like God of War or The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption
It's got
2.
a charming aesthetic.
No, but it's got a little charm to it. It's real gritty and grainy.
It's
So
kinda
it's,
got that- It's
cartoonish,
kind of got that
too.
cell shaded look, like Borderlands.
yeah, but it's real grainy, and it fits the vibe of the atmosphere because it's like you never know what's gonna come around and fuck you in the ass raw.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
seeing new monsters all the time.
It's like analog horror.
I love that shit.
no, I love analog
love that
horror
shit.
too. Even though most of the time it's just a still image with like a
But dude, a
scream
lot
in
of the
the
time
background.
they're fucking creepy though.
No,
Yeah.
no, they are. They're very unsettling to look at. So it's just
Dude,
like,
the Mandela catalog goes so hard.
It does.
so does Maple County. But
What about Local 58? Have you seen that one?
yeah, I know all those. The
Yeah.
Gemini Home Entertainment, all that. They're all. very
I know
good.
about a lot of them specifically through Wendigo.
question mark.
Oh, I already had a plan for a Halloween episode, but
So about the game.
yeah. So about the about the game, for anyone that hasn't played it, I mean, and if you haven't, where have you been? You're
Like-
basically
it's just $10 on Steam.
yeah. It's not like a big
Spend your hard-earned
financial.
money
It's not
on
like
it.
a
It's
big
worth it.
financial undertaking. It's like $10.
This is not a sponsored ad, but this game is awesome.
Yeah, this isn't sponsored, but we are just pointing out this game's the tits. You're basically a low-level intern for a company that doesn't give a fuck about you. All they want is product. So you go into these moons in these factories and other various places to gather scrap that you sell for a profit. And once you get to that profit, margin, your profit margins, you succeed, and then you go into the next. But if you fail, you get ejected from the fucking spaceship,
And
like
die.
Among Us.
Fired and you're dead.
But
Among
all
Us.
this while there's various creatures and little guys that are trying to kill you, except the loot bug. The loot bug, they just want to take your shit. They just want to rob you and then go.
Dude, me and Ethan were playing one time. I think it was the first time we played, and Ethan
Yeah.
saw that loot bug for the first time, and he was like, "Do you think we can trade with it?" And I was like, "No, Ethan, what the fuck? Like that thing's going to kill you."
I was thinking if you put something down, they would be more interested in what you put down, and you could take the more valuable item.
No,
Maybe.
so how it works is they want some shit. It doesn't matter what it is. If you just
Okay.
if you
It'd be
just
like
give it
scrap.
it doesn't matter. You can give them a fucking Rubik's cube. I've seen someone give them the shotgun and just
Oh,
said and they
no.
said go do a crime.
Can they shoot it?
I don't
Can
think
they fire
so.
it?
No. They just take it and they hoard it. But the one thing that I don't know about y'all, but loot bugs travel in packs.
Yeah.
They usually travel in packs of like 5. Yeah. So if you give one person one, it's like you got to share with the whole class. Give them all something. And if you don't, they will attack you. But most of the time, they're kind of just like,
They rock up like your
Gimme,
teacher,
gimme,
and it's just
gimme.
like, I see you brought some scrap. Did you bring? I sure hope you brought enough for everybody.
it's like
Bring it up
I
for the class.
I sure did not. Okay, we're gonna beat your ass.
We're gonna gang up on you and beat you to death
Until you
Yeah,
die.
and then
with this thing you just gave one of us.
And then the bracken's another thing. To pacify this bitch, you got to look at it. But to aggravate this bitch, you got to look at it. So it's like a double-edged sword.
It's
It just
pinpoint
snaps your
eyeballs.
neck, dude.
Oh yeah.
I've
So
tried to follow it one time and it just fucking disappeared.
I think
Yeah.
it was just me and Jake, or I think this is when I killed you with the shovel because you got attacked by the face hugger.
Yeah.
We were carrying your corpse out, and I rounded a corner. There was a bracken staring at me. I just saw his eyes, and I screamed and ran around like to another corner, and he peeked around that fucking corner too.
What did you say? Fuck off, dude.
I just was like, oh shit, fuck off. And then I ran, and I didn't see him again, luckily. But I was like, I swear to God, if we're playing a game of fucking peekaboo, I'm going to lose my mind.
Do you guys remember the thumpers?
Yes,
And
I
you two
every
fucking died.
they we just enter, and I love the voice chat
The
because
proximity voice chat. Yeah.
the proximity voice chat, because you go in and it's like if someone's talking and then they enter, it'll just cut off mid sentence, and then it's just
You
silence.
can't hear them. Yeah.
And then when you go inside, it's just you'll just hear the thumping of the thing, and you're like, oh, what is that? What is that? And then you just see a corpse without legs
Hulking fucking corpse.
just kind of crawl past you.
Yeah.
But they don't see very good.
I think are they?
No,
blind or
they're deaf.
I think they're deaf,
Deaf.
but their vision is like.
Bad too.
Yeah.
Man, they just got the worst of both worlds. But
Well, then how
They
do
also-
they see you so well?
I think if it's directly in front of you, they see you. Because I went in and they would walk, side by side, but they wouldn't notice me until like I guess they turned just ever so slightly and saw me, and then I would just play fucking in and out
Things
with
were
them.
I did retrieve your bodies, but then I think yeah.
Dude, this man was a trooper. He went inside, he grabbed
You were
both of
gonna-
our bodies, and he was
gonna
gonna
take back each body.
one by one. This man, if not,
Hey,
is,
I got you.
is something if not loyal.
I
like
got you.
You were real homie.
no,
And then
but-
I think I threw your bodies off the ledge.
yeah, you did,
Yeah.
and then you died by something.
I think I went in there and then started dancing and then died.
Oh yeah, and then you got attacked by like 3 of them, which was terrifying.
They got me.
Okay. Anyways, Lethal Company, check it out. It's a great game. I think we should get into the topic of this, which is embarrassing stories. Just to like break the ice, so you guys can get to know us a little bit better and be like, oh, remember that time Kagan shit his pants while playing Xbox and he didn't do anything about it? Like that's an example.
Hear
to the
all
bathroom.
details.
You're shitting yourself.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So who wants
Not
to go
yet.
first? Because I got a decent amount of stories.
I'm really curious about Adam's story.
I want to. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Adam should go
Adam,
first.
are you good with starting first?
I reckon.
Okay. Let's
All right,
because
let's hear it.
one of these I know I was the
were
direct
involved in?
I was the direct cause of.
That was
yeah?
the causation.
All right.
I was
Should I
the-
start with that one?
You
I know
can,
that you
yeah.
know it. I don't know if Ethan's heard it and Jake might not have.
I don't
either.
think
So I want
I
to
don't think
preface.
I've
I want to
heard this
preface this. In what grade was it? Like 10th, 11th. In like 10th grade, I had a neighbor who grew Carolina Reapers. The hottest pepper in the world.
Shit.
And he would let me take them. He would just grow them, and he'd be like, "Hey, why don't you take some?" And I'd take some. And it wasn't just like some weird like, "Hey, little boy, you want some of my peppers?"
You want some peppers?
I was friends with his son, so I'd come over and hang out, and then I'd leave with peppers. And I wasn't just gonna
It's a weird trade.
like any
Hang out
drug
with my
dealer.
son, I'll give you peppers.
Like any drug dealer, I wasn't gonna sell the product without testing it. So I ate 2 at once to see what would happen, and it was agony. And my asshole never forgave me for that because it was not a good time.
Yeah.
And I got the brilliant idea to bring these to school and distribute them for free, just because I wanted to see people suffer. And
You're like the gif of Elmo with the fire behind him.
chaos. I just wanted to cause chaos. So it got so bad to the point where like I did it so often that the teachers like came to talk to me about it. They said, "Hey, you got to stop bringing these peppers because it's getting bad." And I was like, okay, I see. I still brought them. I just was very discreet on how I
I
distributed
remember a
them.
few. Like you remember the guy. I'm not gonna. I guess we can say first names. It doesn't really matter. Everybody has this name. You remember the guy Richard
Yes.
who ate one in the Spanish class and then proceeded to throw up in the water fountain? You remember that guy?
Yes, I remember that.
Technical difficulties. I remember who you're talking about as well.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
made a dude vomit in a water fountain because of a pepper.
Oh my
He was in the middle, like he was down there, like chugging water, trying to fucking stop the burn, which water does absolutely nothing.
Makes
it's
it
like,
worse.
Aren't
It's
you supposed to
moment.
drink milk?
It's,
Yes.
yeah, anything
Or dairy.
Momentary
eat
bliss.
cheese, eat ice cream, eat milk, because dairy products, the fats in dairy products mainly because they're full of fats breaks down the capsaicin, which kills the spice.
It's not gonna like immediately wipe it out, but it'll help a
It'll
lot
help.
more than water
It
will.
quenches the burn so fast. Water,
like
it's
ice
like
cream works
momentary
best.
relief. It's
Yeah.
like relief for like 3 seconds, and then you're back to agony, and you better drink more water.
But I think we should get on to the story, Adam. Let's hear your.
So- Okay, so as it went, 10th grade me. I've always been a big fan of spice. My 2 favorite flavors are spicy and sour. I love spicy, sour things. That's why I love Takis so much.
I'm not a big fan of Takis.
I love Takis.
My sister.
Ratchet.
My,
W.
I
my sister.
ravage my bowels
My
with
sister.
Takis.
You don't like them, Ethan?
I hate Talkie.
My sister
like
ruined it
Takis,
for
dude.
me because she would suck the powder off and put them back in the bag and put the bag back in the
That's
pantry.
vile. Your sister should be killed.
No, I had some choice words with her about that, and she ruined Takis for me. But anyways, Adam,
So you can't eat Takis anymore without immediately thinking about like tonguing your sister.
well, beg pardon. You want to run that by me?
God.
But let's hear how you annihilated your asshole. Let's hear this story.
Okay. So, 10th grade me. 10th grade me, you know, innocent, rosy-cheeked, still ignorant to the ways of the world. I walk in, and, you know, Kagan, I hear these whispers all around. Kagan has peppers. He's actively killing people.
Or attempting to, at least.
Yeah, he's actively poisoning people. So me and Kagan, we have a class together, and I snag a few peppers off of him, or I snag one pepper off of him at first. I'm like, hey, you know, let me try one of these peppers. So we're in class together, and I eat one, and it's suffering for the rest of the class. And this class was like pretty close to lunch. And by the time lunch rolled around, it was a little while later. You know, I was still not okay, but I was better than I was.
It leaves like a burning feeling in your gut.
See, that's the thing.
It's the worst.
When you eat something spicy like that, you know, until you pass it, you know exactly where it is in your body because you can feel it.
You can feel it as it goes.
Like, yeah, I could feel it snaking its way all the way through my intestines. Like, I could tell exactly where it was in my intestines. But, so after I ate the first one in class, yeah, that sucked. But, you know, lunchtime rolled around and we were at lunch and everyone was like, you should eat another one. And I was like, fuck it, we ball.
You
and
came
I
to
said,
me, the pepper plug.
I looked at everyone. You were there. We were
Yes.
all at lunch together, and I was like, Kagan, give me another one. And I said, all right, fuckers, if I'm eating another one, you're all giving me your milk. Everyone, milk, now. And
Yeah, I remember that. We all
everyone
just handed
me,
it over.
Yeah, everyone handed over. I had like
Troopers.
4 or 5 cartons of milk in front of me, and I smashed that pepper, and I like let it suffer for like a little bit, like 2 minutes, and I was like, all right. And I started just downing milk. 'Cause I downed so many that I almost threw up on the spot. But so yeah, the rest of that day, not too fun. The rest of that week, oh boy. So after that, I was terrified to void my bowels. I was absolutely I was so scared. I avoided shitting for close to a week.
Oof.
And
That is a feat.
it was. I
think I got you
don't
beat,
know
though.
what month it was, but it was no shit that month. But
whole month.
that's so I held it in for almost a week because I was just so absolutely just
Truly a Herculean task.
I was terrified to pass these peppers. I was like, they hurt so bad going in. I can only imagine. So after that week, we wound up going to deer camp for the weekend for hunting season. And so, you know, we're at deer camp, no toilets, no plumbing, no running water.
Oh, fuck.
And at a nice, cool, brisk morning, I make my way out to the deer stand to start hunting. And it's been a few hours. Haven't seen any deer yet. I've just been kind of chilling. You know, I have my tablet. I'm playing on it. You know, just keeping my eye out for deer. And all of a sudden, there's a rumbling. Rumbling. It's coming. There is a very violent, just trembling.
Storms are brewing.
It is in my gut. The thunder was rolling. The train was coming to the station.
Oh no.
It wasn't stopping. And I tried. I fought it so hard. I was like, I'm not ready. I'm too young.
You thought eventually it would just subside.
Yeah,
and just
eventually it
shit
would
to
just
normal.
stop. I was like, I know I'm going to have to do it eventually, but please let there be a toilet.
Give some grace, good God.
Fate was not that kind to me. So I couldn't hold it. I was a trooper. I held out for as long as I could. But all battles must come to an end. And I was running out of ammo.
Oh no.
You're really
So-
milking this, aren't you?
I am. Listen, I want a movie made about this.
It's
Just my battle.
Like the Revenant, except with the bear, it's a fucking absolutely ass-destroying bowel movement.
Remember
Battle of
me.
the Bowels.
I was like, I scratched a message into the wood on the deer stand.
Remember
Remember me. So I couldn't fight it anymore.
I have no reprieve from this mighty bowel movement I'm about to experience.
I wrote a haiku, actually. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
I didn't.
Damn.
So
And
I remembered as I was coming into the deer stand, there was a creek nearby. And I was like, well, that's as good a place as any. So I got down off the deer stand very quietly. And I made my way to the creek. And there was a fallen tree that had fallen over the creek. And those are like perfect. Because you can just hook your knees onto them and just kind of void your bowels onto the ground. So I just dropped it.
Let it rip.
It was cold because, you know, deer season's in the winter. It was cold. And I dropped it and I just let loose in the creek.
Were you warmed by the heat it radiated?
Yes. I was not cold at all. If anything, I was sweating.
It touches the ground. It starts a small fire.
I was expecting to look down and just see a hole like melted into the,
You
into the
shit
stone.
plutonium.
So it was an experience. It was the most violent and painful shit I've had in my life.
Oh my god.
I can still remember.
You can
Dude,
feel it too.
I can remember the burns.
I can already see it. Dude, I think most of our stories are going to be about shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that. Shit related.
This shit episode.
Well, because shit is like, it's like whenever something happens, you have to shit. Like something important is happening. It's like, oh, I gotta shit, and there's nowhere to shit. It can be a haunting experience.
Adam,
See, the worst part was that it just had to be explosive.
I was about to ask,
It was
your
not
asshole
solid.
survive?
Well, of course it wasn't solid.
Yeah, it was explosive. and
Liquid
it was not-
hot.
It was liquid. It was
Lava.
It was literal lava.
Low.
Shit's hot like Minecraft lava block.
You got that dark chocolate in you.
It was.
Probably looks like that when you're fucking
I've
Blowing
recovered-
ass.
black
These-
tar.
it has
black
been
tar.
It has been years, but I have recovered from the sludge. And
I knew you could do it.
I still have PTSD. I'm fighting it every day. But safe to say, based on the smell, I did not see any deer. And I doubt anybody saw deer at that deer stand
They probably smelled
for
it,
at
yeah.
least a few months.
Cleared that bitch out.
For at least a month, nobody saw deer at that
How
deer
much you want
stand.
to bet an animal ate it though?
Do you think you
I don't know.
killed...
It probably ran away like down the creek.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Ooh, it ran downhill. Is that what you said?
down the creek. Because I shit in a creek.
Oh, the deer probably
okay.
drank that shit and went, ugh!
Yeah.
Imagine just some unsuspecting deer somewhere downstream.
spicy?
Downstream just stops for a nice little refreshment and just starts screaming in agony.
Why is it spicy?
Exactly. But
He probably
pretty
gave
good
it
one,
mad cow disease.
it was pretty bad. And I did not say a word to my father because
He probably heard you.
I was hunting by myself.
Oh.
I did not say a word to my father because you're not supposed to use the restroom anywhere near where you're hunting.
Yeah.
Because
It's like you're
deer
marking
have
territory.
a massive, they have a great sense of smell. Like that would scare anything away from that stand forever.
You probably scared everything away.
Yeah, nobody saw it. Not nary a squirrel was seen at
Turn that
deer
bitch into
stand.
fucking Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Radiated the water, probably.
Purified the water, Adam.
it was bad.
The United
was.
States government picked up a hit on their Geiger counter in space.
Yeah. It's like if you've seen Gravity Falls. It's
Yeah.
like when the first episode of season 2 when the agents find them.
Yes.
It's like, we
Yes.
found it. Boys, we're going to Gravity Falls.
That was a good one, Adam.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thank you for sharing.
It's a good bar to set.
Do you have another story, or is that the only one you're willing to share?
I do have
For now.
one or two more, but if we want, we can go to somebody else and come back to me.
We're rotating.
I was gonna say, what time are we at? We're not gonna cut it here. I just want to know, like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what time we're rocking. What
What's
time
the
are we
time?
rocking?
We at 39 minutes.
Okay, that's good time.
It's not that's not as long as I thought it would.
No, I figured we'd at least be like 45 by now. But that's good time. That gives us plenty of time.
Yeah. I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah. It's another.
I was gonna say let's each share one story.
Yeah.
And
I
if there's,
do apologize.
I was gonna say let's each share one story, and if we have time, we'll give another. But I think all of our stories should be shit related
shall
because
see.
I have one too.
Okay. All right.
It's okay if it's a little scuffed.
Yeah. I have another shit story.
There's an embarrassing
Do
story.
I know
right
about
there.
this one?
The time I accidentally burped near my microphone.
It was a wet one, wasn't it? Was it a wet one?
I was talking about just now.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it
either.
either.
Oh, you didn't? I thought
No.
that's why you were looking at me.
No.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Okay, Jake,
I don't know
Sorry,
why I was-
audience.
I don't know why I was
I am
looking at
so
you.
sorry, audience, that you don't get to hear these lovely noises.
All right,
Sorry
Jake.
for all the
Let's
shit
let's hear
stories,
what
dude.
you
I
got.
haven't learned proper microphone etiquette yet, but I will get there.
Let's hear what you got.
See what I got?
Prepare yourself.
For real. Okay.
Okay, so can I preface by saying, is it shit related?
Yes.
Awesome.
I have to say.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's shit related. So, I don't remember exactly what age I was. And I've told Kagan this one before, and I think Adam was in the room. But
I know what you're talking
I
about.
was young, I was constipated, and I was scared. All right? So, in order to try to get my shit out of my bowels and my colon, here's what I did. You know, any normal person would, sit on the toilet the way they're supposed to. Just sit right on the bowl and shit in, as you do, right? But my silly ass, being a silly, whimsical beast, decided...
The beast part is right.
decided that I would lock the door, step up on the bowl, with my feet on the bowl, mind you, facing the wall, and I was perched like a fucking gargoyle on that
Your
thing.
feet gripping into
And
the
my
side of
toes,
the
my
toilet.
dogs were gripping the sides of the bowl. They were rimming that shit. So I was in the middle of shitting because I thought if I tried it this way, it would come out better. It would be easier on my body. It was. However, mid shit, my dad unlocks the door, walks in on me, and he says, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh God, get out of here!"
Were you-
What do you mean? And at the time, I don't think I got down. I think I just looked at him and I was like, "Get out of here!"
Were you
What are
butt booty
doing?"
naked?
Yes, I was fucking naked. I forgot to mention that I was stark naked. Didn't have any article of clothing on my body, and that yeah, that's
You were like Gollum.
no, that's yeah. I was going. I was like, get out of here. But dude, that's probably scarred my dad. But I never did that shit again.
No, your dad's done some weird out of pocket shit. I don't.
mooned my friends before. He's mooned you before.
Yes.
He's mooned me. Yeah.
So-
My dad's mooned me.
Are you a winker or a gaper?
I gotta say, Adam,
After that, I'm a
a
gaper.
gaper. Yeah, for sure. After that, I'm gaping for sure.
I'm not answering that question.
We can guess.
Please don't.
I will not answer any questions without my attorney present.
But yeah, that's my first story. Hope you enjoyed it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
Ethan,
Unfortunately, mine also includes shit.
Hell yes, I'm gonna feel bad because I do have one that does not.
we're the
include
three
shit.
shits. We're the four shitsketeers.
I do
So-
have one that does not include shit.
I think I was in the 3rd grade. I was in class. It was right after lunch. And my teacher refused to let me go to the bathroom. For whatever reason, I really needed to go.
Great setup already.
Gotta love it.
Like Adam said
I
earlier,
love where it's going.
the storm was coming.
There's the
she
calm
would not
before the
let me
storm.
go.
Dude. Where did you go?
Can I say?
Yeah. Fuck. No, I don't think you can. Damn. We might have gone to the same elementary school because I had a similar issue where my teacher didn't let me go. She let girls go to the bathroom, but not.
I think
Mine
we
did too.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think
Gotta talk
we've
about that.
established that y'all went to the same elementary school.
I think we did. Yes, we did.
Did we?
We did.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I remember y'all
Okay.
bitching about the same teacher.
we were going because
Yeah,
remember
we talked about this before.
remember we were
Okay,
going
yeah.
to we were going to the park at like 10 o'clock
Yes,
at night, and
yes.
then that's
Yeah,
where it was
that's
remember.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we're talking about the same.
We are.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember
Continue,
the story
sorry.
though. Continue.
Sorry. yes.
Anyways, again, I can feel the storm brewing and it's not stopping. So I decide to prove a point to my teacher. I shit my pants in the middle of class.
Anarchy.
Standing up to the establishment, sir, I salute you.
No.
I salute
I
you.
stood up. I go to the front of the class, and I just open the floodgates. This shit is running down my legs. Everybody's just sitting there, speechless.
They're just
My
horrified.
teacher didn't say anything.
Yeah.
What do you say in that moment?
Listen,
What does
Ethan,
it
I
It was
gotta
a
say in that
solid
moment?
10
What the
minutes.
fuck? If I was a teacher and I saw that happen, what would you say? Just
She sent me
nice.
to the office to call my parents. But it was a solid 10 minutes of silence. Besides the
How long did it go on for?
I
Good
don't know,
minute.
like 30 seconds.
Well, did you get it all
Like, I
out?
can't
Oh yeah, I
fucking
got it all
remember.
out. It was in my shoes, my socks.
It pooled?
It was a pool on the ground. I was standing in it.
All right, Ethan, I gotta say that's more based than embarrassing.
that is pretty based. You proved a fucking point. That is.
From that moment
you
on,
stood your fucking ground, dude.
she let me go to the bathroom.
I bet.
Be
Dude.
like, teacher.
I never had the gall to do that.
Be like, teacher, can I go to the bathroom, or do we want a repeat of last time?
Yeah, just
I'll do it again.
actively threaten her. Next one's on your desk.
It's like the scene from Batman versus Superman where what's his name is showing pictures of Superman's mom.
yeah, yeah.
Threatening me like, do you really want to
Your
do
desk,
this again?
your car, the hallways, your shoes, just everything.
The principal's whooping your ass, and you're just like, Martha.
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 And he stops. Why do you know that name?
It's my mom.
Dude, I have to go. I would like to go after you. I have
Okay.
a quick one.
Okay.
Continue. Was that it?
That was it.
Okay. So
That was a pretty good one. I like
yeah,
that.
so this one actually
That's
doesn't
awesome.
have to do with shit.
I have so much more respect for you now.
Honestly, though, respect level just went up. through the roof.
Appreciate it.
So, Kagan, before you go, I'd like to talk about this
Go
one
ahead.
real quick. I don't think I've talked to any of you guys about this, but
Ooh,
it is
exciting.
pretty embarrassing for me. But you know, in school, I don't know if they still do this, but used to in school, if you were bad or whatever, your parents could sign something to have you spanked there. Like you get a
You get
paddling.
paddling, yeah.
Paddling.
You fucking
Yeah.
came all over the
So
principal's
here's-
knee when she
So
spanked you.
here's the thing, dude. I very well might have listened to my story. Okay, so remember, I think you guys remember. We had a principal in high school. She was very tall.
Are you talking
remember.
junior high?
Yes.
Yeah, the assistant principal
No.
or the vice principal.
No,
It was Miss.
she starts with a G.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very-
I know,
very
I know
tall,
who you're
very
talking
tall.
about. I know
So-
who you're talking about.
so,
I thought you were
okay,
talking about
so
the
She
other
was
lady.
she was
preface- to
cool,
pre- to
but she
preface-
was stern.
Yeah, she
Preface,
was.
this woman was about 8 foot tall with a goddamn 25-foot wingspan. So
Miss
whenever,
Crunchable
listen,
over
listen,
here.
listen. So whenever you get a paddling by this woman, it's like the force of God coming down on your
Well,
ass.
Ethan, you said Miss. Did you
Okay.
say Miss?
Miss Trunchable from
No.
Matilda.
So here's the thing. She wasn't like bulky. She was like
Kinda
like
lanky, a little.
like lanky. She
It
was
ran in the
skinny.
family. Everyone in that family was very tall, and very
thin.
slim.
Yeah.
And the resemblance was uncanny.
So
It was.
I was called to the office one day, and I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, whatever. Maybe, you know, my mom has a phone call I need to answer.
I have a good comparison.
And then whenever I went into the office, I went into the principal's office. I walk in there, she sees me, and then first thing she does is fold the blinds.
oh no.
Ain't nobody looking in this motherfucker.
Oh, fuck.
And then she's like, I just got off the phone with your mom, and she gave me permission to do this. She's talking about a paddling, so she gets out the paddle, and I'm like,
What the fuck
what?
did I do?
What the fuck? No.
What did I do?
What
What
did
did
at
I
that
do?
moment I was like, Mom, you betrayed me. You are the only one that's
You
supposed to fucking paddle.
fucking asshole.
You give someone else permission to spank your child?
No.
Like, that's fucked to me. I
you
don't know.
can't do this to me.
But anyways,
Traitor.
I bent over, and the entire time I was like,
Spank me.
no, I was like trembling. I was like fucking bending over. I was like looking back. I was like, and she was
Legs
like,
like-
I don't remember what she said, but I was like looking back. She
What
was
did
like,
you
look at the
do?
wall. I can't remember. I was a shit child, but
Yeah.
anyways,
You were kind of a
it
piece
was
of fucking shit.
it was 3 paddles. I think three strikes.
Oh, I thought you said like 3 paddles. Left.
No, but she got the paddle.
Wolverine claws.
She fucking wound that shit up, and mind you, 25-foot wingspan, roughly. So this shit was up
Coming
in the
from the
air. It
heavens.
was coming from the heavens, and whenever she let that hammer down, brother, it fucking hurt. Okay, that shit was like boom, 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 boom.
I like your hair flopping when you do it.
And then, like, whenever it was done, I was traumatized. I was like, so I was like limping out of the fucking office. I was like, I'm gonna talk to my mom
And everyone's
later.
looking at you because you know that everybody in the office and the lobby and the 3
Knows
adjacent
what happened
classrooms
'cause
heard that.
They just heard it. Yeah.
Sounds like a gunshot
It
going
sounds
off.
like somebody. Oh
So-
no!
Yeah. Oh no, not him. There's another one.
Adam, what was
Anyways.
your comparison?
My comparison is whenever you said that, you were talking about the 25, how slim and tall and
Yeah.
the 25-foot wingspan. All I could think of, all I was picturing was in season 2 of Attack on Titan when the colossal Titan rears back his long, skinny arm and then just
Basically the
brings
same.
it down and wipes the fucking entire place out. Like,
That place was my ass.
yeah, Jake's ass
Call-
got ravaged
call
by a
the-
Titan.
Call the principal the colossal Titan and my ass
Walmaria.
Walmaria. Because I just got thwomped.
Okay.
Just got that bump.
Proceed. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Kagan's turn.
Thank you for
my first story is shit related.
As
And
I say,
I've,
tell us about your shit.
I've told this one before. And this one
it
was a fumble on my part. So I was
Sounds like a load of shit to me.
it was on my foot. But
Oh,
Oh, a little teaser.
so
teaser,
so I
man.
was probably about 10, 11. So I was young enough that, it's like, okay, I could see this happening, but how the fuck did this happen? So when I was younger, I had the habit of taking food into the bathroom with me because I would eat and or drink something while I'm just dropping it
That
into
is
the bowl.
vile.
You're like refueling as you're fucking.
I was charging up, yeah.
I can't even imagine a world where I'm shitting and actively like eating a sandwich. Like I can't.
So
even
funny,
Like, do you not smell that shit? And you're like, you're
I had
going in
the-
to take a bite, and you're like,
I had the vent on, so it was like
oh,
venting
that
it.
helps, yeah.
yeah, that totally helps.
So
'cause
there was
those
one
vents
time where I
do
did it and it
things.
was Subway.
But you still got
Oh.
your dick out on the,
It's
on
like
the toilet, dude.
Hang on. Side tangent. It's
So,
like,
like,
it's like how those people joke about sitting on the toilet backwards facing the tank and like having a bowl of cereal and a glass on the glass of like orange juice on the tank and multitasking, taking their morning shit.
I
and
never
eating
did
their
that. I was
breakfast.
just kind of hunched over, just.
but your dick was.
Well, so this time it wasn't food. It was just tea. I had a glass of tea with me, so I was shitting, and it wasn't solid. It was like that midway point where it was like almost pudding, but with a little more texture to it.
What a lovely comparison. I'm
Yeah.
glad that image is in mine. And
Yeah,
the
ruined
viewers' heads.
ruined chocolate pudding for you. Anyways,
I'm never
this
touching
far.
pudding again.
we were
this far.
we were shitting, and I went to grab my tea, and it slipped out of my hand and spilled on my fucking lap. But like it got on my cock, my balls, my thighs, my pants. And when I like went to I like stood up. I hadn't wiped, so I stood up to crouch down, and I and I sat on my foot. I had a sock on, so it was like it got on my foot. But then I stood up. There was shit all over my sock and everything. And the window was open to the bathroom, so I had to call. We weren't even at my house.
No.
This was at someone I was related to us, but I'd never met them before. This is my first time meeting them. So
Hell of a
I,
first
I
impression,
stood
right?
on the toilet and said, "Dad, can you come here for a minute?" And he said, "What?" And I said, "I shit on my sock." And he went, "God fucking damn it!" And I just hear him thudding his way to the fucking thing, and he was so pissed. And it was like in a movie, whenever something happens and then it cuts to another scene. That's pretty much what happened. I don't remember the transition time from after that to the next thing, but it was like that happened. What?
The next team.
The next thing, but like,
next thing.
but that happened, and then and then it's like it was just a cut to me just staring at the washing machine, washing my clothes. Like, what have I done? Like, what have I done?
Your brain's blocked it out. Like, unbeknownst to you, your dad came in and just absolutely kicked your ass, and your brain just
No,
blocked it
so
out.
my dad would raise his voice, but he would never put hands on us in terms of like spanking and whatnot. But he would just get loud, like the Hulk loud, and that was scary enough that you didn't need to.
You didn't need any spankings.
Yeah, his voice was enough that you'd be like,
I'm sorry.
It was a spanking. To
it was
the heart.
like that
Yeah.
that shout in Skyrim dismay where it just weakens enemies whenever you use it. It was like he would just hit you with a Skyrim breath attack and you just get weak. You just go, oh, yeah. So for the next couple years, every time my dad, he tormented me about this. Every time I came out of the bathroom, he said, "You have a good shit sock," and I was like, God damn it.
That's such a dad thing to do.
It
That's
was,
awesome.
and it was funny. But then everyone else in my family started calling me that, and that is when
that's where you draw the line.
that is when that's when I learned to stop caring about things, because it was getting to me so much that it kind of just like, it's like whenever you start tweaking, so you got to lock in, and you just kind of, after a certain point, I just straight faced it and just stopped.
You're like, everybody called me shit sock when I was little. I don't care about that no more.
Yeah,
I'm hard.
I run shit like diarrhea now. Call
Run
me
shit
shit
like
sock.
diarrhea.
Call me shit sock all you want. No, but that's
These are shit
foul.
socks. These are shit sock
which
stairs.
nickname is better? Shit sock or half nut?
I was going to say that.
fuck. So
Maybe that's why you have such an aversion to half nut. You ever think about that? Maybe this is the lore.
the lore. So half nut takes a jab at my height, and shit sock takes a jab at my
pride.
my pride.
You left
So-
all your pride on that sock.
So
buddy.
one's physical and
little fucking skid
one's
mark.
physical and one's mental. It doesn't bother me anymore because I'm older and I've had character development. So I just think it's funny now, because it was like how the fuck does that even happen? It seems like something that, thinking about it now, it almost seems like something that had to be done intentionally for it to happen, because there was no way it could have happened any other way.
Time heals all things.
Yeah, but not that sock. I had to throw that bitch away.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You didn't keep it? Like,
No!
as a
You
keepsake?
should have framed it.
You want to know what makes it worse? The sock
My
was
first
white.
$1.
The sock was a white sock.
Was it a tube
Looks
sock
like you
or a
should have
through
worn your
sock?
brown
It's a tube
socks.
sock.
Even better.
Looks like you should have worn your brown socks, buddy.
Exactly. But that's my...
Hey, you didn't finish the paint job. Just stick it right up there and then...
Bro, new sock
dye it.
camo just
But
dropped.
fellas, that is my fecal fable for this.
Fecal fable. I love
That is
that.
my
That's a
fecal
good
fable
title,
for this
Fecal
episode.
Fables.
I've got some other good ones, but
I've got
I-
another good
I
story.
don't want to be known as the shit boys.
I have.
This is the first episode. Listen, I don't know if you've
No,
noticed
we'll
by
be
now.
called the
This
Fecal Fellas.
this
I hate
podcast
that.
is the shit.
all right, what's your
Shit like
story,
diarrhea.
Ethan?
Okay. Does anyone?
I was
I
gonna
have-
say
go ahead.
I was
I
gonna
have
say
another
get
light
the
story.
get the gross ones out of the way.
I have
and
another
then-
light
Well-
story. This one involves shit as well.
Okay, you go first. Let's go ahead and get this.
This
out
one's
of the way.
kind of this one's light. This is like a palate cleanser for my next story. But the next one involves. Hang on, I'll leave it. This one. Okay, so I am very young in this story. I barely remember this. It's like, you know how like memories from when you're young, they're like fleeting images.
Yeah.
And like sounds.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I was quite young. I was like on the toddler on the verge of becoming child. You know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so you hadn't gained sentience yet.
I was getting there. Sentience was starting to kind of like blink in and out. So
So
one
you're
sec.
like
Sorry.
4 or 5.
Probably around there, yeah. But so whenever I was younger, I had a set of those toys that was like, it was like steel ball bearings, or like I don't know, I think they were iron, something magnetic little ball bearings, and then you had the sticks with a magnet on
Yes,
each
yes,
end.
yes.
What were they called? Do you remember?
I just called them magnets.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like the
I
little,
think-
you'd build things out of them.
I think anyone born in the
Oh,
year
yes, yes,
2000 would know what we're talking
Were
about.
they
Yeah.
called
I think
kinetics?
they were like kinetics. Or
I think they were.
Kinetics. That
Kinetics
sounds
does sound
familiar.
right.
Yeah.
I had a lot of those, and I had a lot of Lincoln Logs. Lincoln Logs were the shit.
They were shit.
Toys were just built different back
They
then.
were.
I'm
Literally.
guessing.
I had an awesome train set. I wish I still had it. But so I had a set of these kinetics, and I was quite young, and I didn't know any better. And so I ate the ball bearings.
Oh, I did that too. I did that too.
I ate the ball bearings, and my mom found out. And so she had no choice but to put on a rubber glove and dig through my feces after I would go to the restroom and see if I passed them. But one time after I ate them, my mom walked into the room. Her and my grandmother walked. God rest her soul. Her and my grandmother walked into the room to find me with one of the little magnet sticks, with it on my stomach, trying to I was holding it against my skin on my stomach, trying to drag the ball up and out my throat back up to my mouth by pulling it on my skin on the outside of my body. And then after that, they said that I tried to take it and dangle it down my throat to try and get the ball bearing out.
You just see from a view, it just. right onto the fucking.
And then they had to take the kinetics away from me before I tried to stick it up the other end.
Dude, if you did that with kinetics, I can only imagine what you did with Lincoln Logs.
Thankfully, those things had some sharp edges on them. Thankfully, I did not do anything with Lincoln Logs.
I would chew on them like a beaver because I was weird as a kid.
Fucking beaver child.
You look like you chew on Lincoln Logs.
Yeah, you look like the
look like
kind of
you
guy
chew
who
on
chew on Lincoln
I
Logs.
also used to shove rocks in my ears for some fucking reason.
One time,
In my nose.
One time, my brother jammed a
My
googly
nose.
eye, a little googly eye, like all the way up in his nose. And then he tried to get up in there and get it out, and he just shoved it up in further. So my mom had to take him to the hospital to get it out. Oh, can I say one more story? I just thought of another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is another light story. So this one also involves my brother. I got to say, my brother, he has hurt himself so many times in life. He is the luckiest motherfucker. He has caused himself so many potentially life-threatening injuries that were like a nut hair away from killing him, but it was like just close enough, just enough away where it didn't kill him. Jeez. But this one I did to him. So me and my brother were playing, and we're both very young, like probably around the same age, where I'm like probably 4 or 5, and he's a little bit younger, probably like 2 or 3. Maybe I was a little older. If he was like 3, then that would make me like 7. But so we're playing, and we're just kind of messing around, doing what boys do, just guys being dudes,
Dudes being guys.
boys being boys,
Yeah.
And we're fucking around, and I stumble across this spray bottle full of this nice, pretty liquid. It's very, very deep purple liquid. And I'm like, oh, good. And I don't know how to read yet, but I look at it, and I'm like, oh, fun spray.
Fun spray.
And I sprayed him in the face with it. Oh, no. And he starts screaming and crying. And my mom runs in. And she comes and grabs him, and she's like, oh, God. And she's freaking out. And she takes him to the hospital, and he has chemical burns in his throat.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
I sprayed him in the face with purple power, heavy duty
Christ,
degreaser.
Jesus Christ.
Nothing wrong on my mom. She was a lovely mom. She raised us well. Unfortunate accident. Everyone makes mistakes.
On the topic of doing dumb shit, though, I got a quick one. Whenever Kagan and I first met, the first time that his mom took us anywhere was, I think, Walmart to go shopping. And
Fuck.
the first, I don't know what possessed me, but on the way out, I just decided to put my mouth underneath. They had a Subway in there, and they had like the fountains.
Oh.
Where the drinks
Yeah.
are. And I don't know why I did it, but I put my mouth underneath the faucet, pressed the button, and started drinking. And I got in trouble. And I think, Kagan, didn't your mom say, like, she did not like me at that point? I was banned from your next birthday party.
No, you weren't banned because of her. You were
Yeah.
banned because of your parents. Your parents
Oh, yeah.
were at this weird point where they didn't like me. So it was, I mean, your parents get along, be fine now.
Yeah.
But it was just this weird point in time where when we hung out, when it came to like a birthday, it would never work
It
out.
was a weird thing.
The parents would just be like, no, my mom's always loved you. She was like a second son.
But-
Your
mom is lovely.
she
Yeah,
just
she
just thought, because you weren't, I did it too. You weren't the only
Yeah.
one.
I don't know I think I encouraged you to.
You
as a bad
encouraged me,
influence.
and I was like,
this shit's busted.
I
You
was
gotta
like-
try this.
Go try this shit. You
I was
tried
like,
all
I was
the
like,
flavors?
that's a banger idea. Let's do it. And then the dude
Good
caught
idea.
us, and my mom, bless her heart, bless her heart so much. She still bought us Subway sandwiches after that, and then the car ride was quiet home. Not a word was said, but she dropped Jake off. He got out, and then I feel so bad about it because it was like
It was awful.
It
I
was
don't know
awful.
what came over me, but it didn't.
I think at the time we were both on meds, and
Yeah.
we hadn't taken our meds, so we just kind of let the ADHD run wild and said, "Hey,
You let the
let's."
voices
Yeah,
take control.
like voices won. Yeah.
Like, so I think what happened was we walked in, we said, "Hey, can we get a water cup?" And then we fucking threw the water cup away and,
and then just
stuck
put our mouth underneath it. Yeah.
faucet.
I did not tell that story very well, but it was
No,
embarrassing because I wouldn't do it again.
I remember that
Yeah.
because it's like, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I get embarrassed, I feel this tightening in my ass cheeks, like a
You clinch.
like a clenching, like just like, ooh, that makes me uncomfortable. So I kind of
You get,
clench,
like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
yeah, like cringing. That was a fucking
Yeah.
we were at an
We've got more
interesting
like
point
that.
in our
Yeah.
life with that.
Ethan,
You said you had another
I have a
story.
feeling y'all are gonna like this story.
go ahead.
Okay, this was a few years after the diarrhea.
Incident.
Yeah. At the time, I lived in Florida, and I was going to this private school. I hated this private school because they made us wear uniforms, and these uniforms, they had the shirt was tucked in the pants, and they had the belt, but it wasn't on your waist. Like you had to pull the pants up above your belly button, so it was uncomfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
I hated these uniforms, so I hatched a brilliant scheme to start a food fight.
Ooh.
Good old fashioned, reliable, honestly.
Yeah.
Instead of targeting another student, I targeted the principal. I grabbed my orange. At the time, I didn't bring my lunches to school. I grabbed the orange off of my tray, and I throw an absolute piss missile at this bitch, and I square hit her like right here between the eyes.
Damn.
Unfortunately, no one else joined in.
So it just made you look like an asshole.
Yes.
Listen, Ethan, I gotta say, you as a child absolutely just based.
I was gonna say, Ethan's not even telling embarrassing stories. He's just proving that he's a fucking Chad.
Yeah.
And that he's just got
But it's
that.
embarrassing because no one joined in.
He's just proving that
that point
the
you should-
intrusive
I
thoughts
was-
should always win.
I just threw the orange, and nothing happened.
Dude.
a piss missile.
Nothing happened except you getting piss missiled right in the ass.
Something that just came to mind, where nobody when you said no one joined in, it reminded me of something that I said in a classroom that nobody responded to. Thank God they didn't, but it embarrassed the piss out of me. It was early morning, like first period class. We go in there. I think we were watching a movie or something, and she turns the teacher turns the movie off, and I raised my hand. Well, I don't think I raised my hand. I just think I said it. Everybody was dead quiet. No one was saying a thing. They were tired. It was the morning. No one had any energy. Yeah. And I said, "Hey, Mom."
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
I hate when that happens.
Everybody looked at me, and as soon as I said it, like the teacher gave me a look like, what the fuck did you just say?"
Did you just
And
call
as
me?
soon as I said it, I just put my head down, didn't say anything for the rest of the class.
like,
It fucking
Never
sucked.
mind.
Yeah, no,
I'm
didn't-
not
I
here.
didn't say anything, dude.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
not
say
saying-
anything. I just put my head down. I was like, my life is over.
The only detail he left out was that the teacher was male.
What?
Okay, I've got another story.
It'd be funny if you said,
I think
Mommy?
my last main story is gonna have to be the finale. I don't know if anything can top this one.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So this is another explicit story, which I feel like at the beginning we should put like an explicit warning or something saying there's going to be a lot of shit talk.
on like Spotify, whenever you make a podcast, you can say if it's explicit or not.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I don't want people to go in and then be like, "Man, they're talking about shit for like 20 minutes." Like, what's this? Let's
Warning.
hope
what is this? What
Heavy
am
scat.
No, so this one, when I was younger, I got two stories. One's not as funny, but it's like, remember when Gary would go missing in the SpongeBob episode?
I- shit's sad as fuck.
That made me sad. So my parents were divorced, still are, still will be.
Wow, way to trauma dump in the group chat.
No, so they were divorced, and every time I'd see that episode, I would just bawl my eyes. I'd be like, "Where did Gary go?" And I would just. And my dad didn't know what to do, so he straight up just dropped me off at my mom's because he's like, "I don't know.
I don't want to deal with it.
I don't know. I don't have the parental facilities to deal with this here."
Yeah.
And then I would see it again at my mom's, and I'd say the same thing. I'd be like, "You take me to my dad's. I want to go see dad." And then it would just be a back and forth cycle until one of them was like, "Okay, you need to stop.
What the fuck is wrong with this?
You need
kid?
to stop watching SpongeBob for a while."
Yeah.
And then second one is I slammed my cock in the toilet and asked my dad to kiss it. But you know what the fuck? Yeah. So
Honestly, Kagan.
I had a similar experience.
Same.
Basically,
I had a similar experience as to you crying at the Gary thing, but for me, whenever I was really young, for some reason, whenever I watched Charlotte's Web for the first couple times and Charlotte died, I just lost my shit.
dude, no, that was Charlotte was a fucking she was cooking in that movie, and then when she died, you're like, no, I can't believe I care about a fucking spider. What the hell?
Yeah.
No, but so the whole slamming my cock in a toilet seat story, basically, this happened more than once. This wasn't like a...
You didn't learn?
Well, so one time it was a folding chair. What? I don't know. I don't know why my cock was out.
It's like a wrestling announcer. Oh my God, he's got a steel chair.
No, so what happened was I would take a piss, and then, you know, the lid when I was younger was so heavy. So I would just kind of let it fall because I didn't have the strength to just slowly lower it. And I guess my cock was still on the seat when it happened, and it right on the tip. And yeah, Tom and Jerry scream, yeah, yeah. No, just, and I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I slammed my penis. Can you kiss it? And he said, fuck no.
It was all a ploy.
Yeah,
Fuck no.
He just said, fuck no.
If I was your dad, I would have punched you in the mouth.
I would have slammed your penis.
And then the second time we were at the lake, and I did it in a folding chair, and asked my mom the same thing, and she said, no. First off, I'm not going to do that. Second off, there's people around. And I was thinking, my mom was retelling me this story yesterday, and I was thinking, so there's a chance.
Listen, Kagan, I just want you to know that if you do it, I will kiss it.
Does anyone else have any stories? Adam, you said you had one more.
This one, my last one will have to be a finale. I will say I did have another like mini story, but this one was actually embarrassing, but I didn't notice it like at the moment until like after the fact. So what was happening was, if you remember, in Spanish class.
Yes.
What?
Dog.
Nothing, just this
Oh,
dog. Over here. I don't know if he's about to bark or not, but I know what he needs.
He needs to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I do too, but
Fair enough.
You gotta wait.
yeah, you're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer, bud. But
Continue.
Anyway,
anyways.
in Spanish class, if you remember, we had that one Spanish teacher. We'll call her.
Miss
I don't
Spanish.
know what to call her. Miss Spanish. If you remember, she was a slacker. You remember, after one semester, they made her leave.
Yes.
Because of many reasons.
Yes, I remember her
And-
very fondly. Wasn't she selling drugs to a student?
I believe so.
She also had a boyfriend that worked at P.F. Chang's, and he was like 20, and she was like 60. And I was like,
Damn.
okay. I was like, okay, buddy.
All right.
Sure.
But-
Okay.
Yeah, she was not a good teacher. She could be cool, but she was just kind of like, eh.
most of
but-
the time, yeah, just kind of meh most of the time.
Anyway, so we were in her class, and if you remember, she had a gaggle of students that liked to pretend to be nice to her and hang out with her because they wanted a better grade in the class.
Yeah.
I think the dog has something to say.
What you gotta say, Lucky? He might talk. You gotta say
He's like, listen.
Hear me out.
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
It's really
He's
important.
not speaking.
Sniffs the
Okay. Anyways,
Anyway.
continue.
But you remember, she had a gaggle of like the popular girls from our grade who would like hang out with her and be friends and act cool, specifically so they could get a better grade in the class, you know? And one of them, probably the ringleader of our grade, she was talking. This dog is tweaking.
God fucking damn it. We're doing so good without the fucking interruptions, and then he just decided, hey, I got to shit.
Another shit story. But anyway.
Anyways.
Anyway, bleep that. Bleep that. Bleep the name. Okay.
The look, the fucking fluoride stare you gave me when you said that name.
Yeah, but bleep that.
Or just edit this entire segment out so we don't have to deal with dog.
It's fine. The dog can stay, and it's character.
Yeah, maybe people will be like, oh, cute
Oh
dog.
boy, a dog.
They've got a live environment.
Yeah.
But
Like we're actual people,
anyway,
not fucking
probably
robots.
probably the ringleader of the popular girls. I'm not gonna say her name.
Didn't you say her name was?
She said something in class. I don't remember all the specifics, and I basically just kind of like, as an afterthought, I wasn't really paying attention, but I just kind of basically just said, yeah, well, you're a suck up. And I didn't mean to. And then like immediately after, she just kind of looked at me and she was like, wow, Adam, I didn't know you were like real like that. And I was just like, and then it clicked and I was just like, oh, fuck. sorry, I didn't mean to just, it just kind of like slipped out.
Sorry, the voices got to me and I had
Yeah.
to say something.
Just the intrusive thoughts won. It was just like, man, like I just completely called her and her whole group out for basically no reason. And it was just an afterthought. And then after a few seconds, I was like, oh, fuck. That was pretty embarrassing. I was pretty flushed after that one. Because I was a pretty reserved guy back in school.
Yeah. Jake, your mom started following the podcast page. I just got a notification
I don't
saying.
know if I should like cheer or wallow in despair.
Guys, you don't understand. This is big news.
Yeah. What is that? Our 10th follower?
10 followers, man, we're really hitting the big leagues. Put down the lease on the
double
Lambo.
digits.
Yeah.
The lease on the Lambo.
Put down the lease on the Lambo.
I'm going to take out a second mortgage on my house.
Yeah.
You post the episode, it gets like 2 likes. Man, this one's doing numbers.
Man, really funny. That was
Dude,
the funny.
that's
Hang
going
on.
to be what
I just got to say that's the
You know that,
funniest
don't
joke. That's the funniest joke of this whole episode. The fact that I, just insinuated that I actually have a house. Who has a house these days?
Should have bought one when I was in the 4th grade, dude.
Dude,
Fuck this market.
All right, Adam, you had a
The finale.
the finale.
this is it, boys. This is the creme de la creme.
We're going to wrap up the episode with Adam's final story.
So,
Let's hear it.
brace
Well,
yourselves.
Brace myself. Okay, I'm holding on to my seat.
Hey, like I said, I've probably told Kagan this story before, but I don't know about Jake and Ethan. So,
excited.
this was pretty recent. This was within probably the last, I'd say, less than 2 years ago. So,
Is this a shit related story?
no.
Oh, it's not.
Ending on a good note.
Okay.
Not necessarily. It's
Oh,
not
oh,
shit
oh.
related, but
Spoke too soon.
instead of blasting out of one end, imagine blasting out of the other end.
Oh, yeah, it's this story. It's this story. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Proceed.
So,
I'm intrigued.
I'll say I dabble in partaking of the devil's lettuce every now and again. Just I don't do it too frequently, but every now and again I like to blaze up a little bit. So, my buddy, his uncle had given him some
Some of the Mary Janes.
of the Mary Jane that he had made. He had used like a cigarette machine and stuff to like make little cigarettes out of
Oh,
it.
that's badass.
Yeah, it was pretty rad, and we partook of it together. Like we were just spending the night hanging out. We partook together, and we had just gotten some McDonald's. We had gotten our munchies. We were ready to
Oh,
just
hell
have a
yeah.
good time.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, so we smoked up together, and so this guy, his tolerances are so low. Like mine are low because I very rarely partake, but his are like nothing.
Go get 'em.
He does not have tolerance at all. So if he partakes at all, he's like immediately comatose on the couch. Like he just lays down somewhere and is completely non-functional for like the
So
next
he's like
2 hours.
brain dead.
Basically. He's just, yeah. But me, I partook, and we were just chilling. I threw on some nice funny YouTube videos on the TV, and we were just we weren't really chit-chatting, but we were just watching funny stuff on the TV and hanging out and eating our munchies. And so he, after like a few minutes, is just silent and basically just dead on the couch. And I'm just sitting there and I'm still watching these videos, and eventually I start to realize that I'm not necessarily watching the videos. I'm just kind of staring in the direction of the TV vaguely, and I don't know what's going on. And I start going down this rabbit hole of like, man, I'm really bugging right now. Like I'm really tweaking. Something's wrong. It's like, and then I start going, man, what if none of this is real? None of this is real. Nothing around me is real. This is all a simulation. And then I'd talk myself down. I'd be like, no. That's just the weed talking. Just calm down. That's just the weed talking. Be like, but that's what they'd want you to think. And it's just like, no. That's just
the
the weed
rabbit hole.
talking. That's just the weed talking. Everything's fine. That's just the weed. And it's just like, but
But-
that's what they'd want you to think. And I went through that cycle at least 20 times of just constantly freaking out and then talking myself back down from freaking out.
That does not sound enjoyable.
It was not. This is the worst experience I've ever had with the greenery. So this kind of experience, usually when something bad like this happens, it's called greening out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too much is going on. And so either this was some really just potent stuff or like something was off. But so after doing that for a while and realizing that I've just been kind of vaguely staring in the direction of the TV and not actually watching it, I was like, I really need to turn this off and lay down. So I turn the TV off and I clean up a little bit and I go and I lay in bed. And my fiance is in the restroom, using the restroom at the time. And I'm laying on the bed. Excuse me. And I start to get this weird feeling, this weird, like, you know, that dread where you're not exactly nauseous yet, but that dread, that feeling, you're like, for some reason, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, I get that feeling of dread and that weird, like, pressure in my abdomen that's like, I'm going to throw up, but I'm not, like, nauseous or anything yet. And I'm like, it's probably nothing. It's
That's the worst feeling.
I'm like, it's probably just the weed messing with me. It's nothing. And so I'm laying there and I'm in denial. And eventually, because I had just eaten, like, 3 McDoubles.
Damn.
Oh,
and a
dude.
bunch of McDonald's.
Bad
Ooh.
mix.
I had just eaten a bunch of McDonald's.
Mm.
And not sponsored. So I had just eaten all this McDonald's and I lay there and eventually it just comes all at once. This whole time it was just the feeling of dread, no nausea, but all at once it's just like, all right, and just all comes, and I immediately slap my hand over my mouth. I'm not going to do that because I'll muffle myself. I immediately slap my hand over my mouth and then just projectile vomit while my hand's over my mouth. So it shoots out the sides, shoots out the sides of my hand, through my fingers,
Up
like
your nose.
everywhere, up in the air, on the table, on the bed, on the sheets, on the blanket, on me, up my nose, in my beard,
Oh my god.
everywhere. I'm like, ah! And I immediately, and then I feel round 2 coming. I'm like, well, I can't do that again. So I lean over the side of the bed and just projectile round 2 all over the carpet. And I'm like,
Damn,
oh no. And then I'm sitting there and I'm just breathing heavily and I can't see anything. And I can't see anything because there is vomit all over my glasses. I am blinded. I have been flashbanged. So I'm sitting here and I'm completely blind. My face and my body and the bed and everything are just covered. So yeah, I'm just fucking, at this point I've been flashbanged. I'm blind. It reeks. Everything is just wrong. And I sit there and I stare at this puddle on the carpet and with this just blank 1,000-yard stare, I'm staring through the floor, contemplating all my life decisions up to that point. Don't do drugs, kids. And then I get up very slowly and carefully, and any of it that was on my body kind of slides off onto the floor.
Oh god.
Damn, dude.
And I very carefully waddle to the bathroom that my fiance is still in, by the way, so she doesn't know that this has happened.
Oh,
And I knock on the door,
honey.
and she's like, yeah. And I said, hey, babe. Yeah. I need help. He's like, why? I threw up.
I threw up.
It's
I
like,
threw up.
That's not how I said. I was like, I threw up everywhere. And she was like, what? And I was like, I threw up everywhere. It's everywhere. Everything is vomit. And she's like, give me a second, because she was in the middle of using the bathroom, so she had to like finish up. And she opens the door, and the second she sees my face, she just breaks down in hysterical laughter.
Damn.
Oh damn, that's good.
And I'm like, help me. And she's like, okay. And she's like trying to talk, but she can't stop laughing, and she's breathing really heavily. And she's like, get in here. And she opens the shower door, and she's like, get in the shower. Don't even take your clothes off. Just get in the shower. And she turns it on, and she's like, okay, now start taking your clothes off. And she's like, please wipe your beard. She's like, grab your shirt, and while you're taking it off, use it to wipe your beard out. Because apparently my beard had absorbed it like a sponge.
Oh my god.
It was bad.
Yuck.
God.
And
Holy shit.
I lift the shirt up to like over my head. And while it's up there, instead of doing the smart thing and using my shirt like a cloth, I take my free hand, my bare hand, and I just kind of plunge it in there into my beard to try and get it out. And the sensation of touching it immediately makes me fill my shirt again like a doggy bag.
Oh, dude. That is awful.
And so I'm in the shower, vomit pouring out of my shirt into the shower floor and running down the drain because she had turned the shower on at this point. And she's like, I told you to use your shirt. And I was like, I can't use my shirt now. It's full of vomit. So eventually I managed to get my way out of my clothes and get my glasses off and give everything a thorough rinsing. And she's like, just stay there And we were still staying with my parents at this point. So my mom was asleep because it was late at night. And she wakes my mom up and she was like, "Can you please help me?" And my mom comes out and I'm in the shower. And at this point, I'm down to just underwear. And I'm just sitting like in fetal position, hugging my knees on the shower floor. I'm literally rocking back and forth under the water. Still like, because I had sobered up pretty considerably at this point. But at that point, I was just sitting there like just contemplating my life choices and what just happened. And everything. And they cleaned everything up, and my fiance replaced the sheets, and I'm eternally grateful to both of them for putting up with me when that happened. And that is the story of the one and only time I have ever greened out.
I bet you never touched weed for a while after
Dude,
that.
after that, I did not smoke for like months. Months. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Damn,
you guys want to wrap? What are we at time-wise? Do you guys want to take a look?
I think we're good here,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think it's a solid chunk, dude.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, be sure to follow and subscribe, depending on what platform you're on.
This was
And
pretty fucking fun.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
I enjoyed the
agree.
hell out of this.
This is a really good first episode, like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Join us. I hope to see you again soon. Because we're gonna be uploading episode 2 next week or the week after. What did we decide?
Yeah, it'll be coming pretty soon. We'll give you guys updates. We'll
But-
be back with a new topic next time.
Yeah, but if that's all, bye everyone. I hope to see you again in the next episode.
Toodles.
Adios, muchachos.
See ya.